Hey there, it's me again, and if you're over 60 and your legs have been feeling a little off lately, like your strength's been slipping, or your knees have started to betray you just when you're reaching for that top cabinet, then sit down, get cozy, and listen closely. Because what I'm about to share might just change how you feel in your legs tomorrow morning. We've all heard that aging is the big bad wolf behind our wobbly steps, stiff calves, and middle-of-the-night leg cramps. Doctors say it's normal, ads try to sell us some magical lotion, and society, well, they tell us to just deal with it. But you and I both know something's off with that story, right? Like, what if I told you it's not really age at all? What if it's just a missing piece, specifically 3 tiny nutrients that quietly vanish from our bodies after 60? 3 bedtime vitamins that no one's talking about, yet are absolutely essential if you want to stand taller, walk stronger, and sleep without waking up to your own legs, twitching like they're doing the cha-cha in your dreams. And before we go any further, no, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just someone who's seen the science, dug into the real research, and pieced together what so many people have missed. So let's go deep. I mean deep. Because tonight I'm walking you through the 3 most underrated research-backed vitamins that you should be taking before bed if you want your legs to actually heal, rebuild, and feel young again. Ready? Let's dive in. Vitamin B12, the power line you never knew you lost. All right, let's kick this off with the first vitamin. And no, it's not some exotic Amazonian herb or a trending superfood smoothie ingredient. It's vitamin B12. Yep, good old B12, the vitamin that almost everyone's heard of, but nearly no one fully understands, especially when it comes to how it affects our legs. Now let me ask you something. Have your calves been feeling a little, well, sleepy? Ever get that pins and needles feeling in your feet for no reason? Or maybe your balance is starting to feel like it's trying out for a circus act. That might not be just age, that might be your nervous system crying out for vitamin B12. See, here's what's wild. Vitamin B12 is like the power line between your brain and your legs. It literally helps send messages down your spine and into your muscles. When that line gets weak, it's not just about strength anymore. It's about control, coordination, connection. And guess what? After the age of 60, your body's ability to absorb B12 drops like a rock. You could be eating all the steak, eggs, and salmon in the world and still be deficient. Why? Because your stomach doesn't make enough hydrochloric acid anymore, which is what helps release B12 from the foods we eat. The National Institutes of Health says up to 43% of people over 60 are either low or borderline low in B12. 43%. That's nearly every other senior walking around with legs that feel heavier, clumsier, or just plain weird. And they don't even know why. I've seen it happen. First your toes go numb, then your calves feel tight. Then one day your knee just buckles. And doctors? They often shrug and call it neuropathy or tell you to wait it out. But I'm telling you, if your legs are feeling off, vitamin B12 might be the missing spark. Here's the thing that really got me. B12 helps build the myelin sheath, that protective layer that wraps around your nerves like insulation on a wire. Without enough B12, that sheath thins out. The nerves don't conduct signals right. Your muscles don't fire the way they should. It's like trying to run a machine on frayed cables. And what's even crazier? A 2017 study in the journal Neurology followed over 25,000 seniors. You know what they found? People with low B12 were 60% more likely to fall. 60%. They also had nearly triple the trouble walking compared to those with healthy B12 levels. So here's my advice. Don't wait for your legs to betray you. Start supplementing B12 before bed. Why bedtime? Because that's when your nervous system is in full repair mode. While you sleep, your body goes into deep healing cycles, replacing damaged nerve tissue, resetting muscle signals, and basically running a full tune-up on your lower body. And B12 is the fuel it needs to do that right. And here's the good part. B12 won't keep you awake. It's not like caffeine. In fact, some seniors actually report sleeping better when they take it at night. More restful, less twitchy, less of that jumpy leg feeling that wakes you up at 2 a.m. So how should you take it? Easy. Look for the methylcobalamin form of B12. That's the kind your body can use right away, especially if you've got digestive issues. And don't just pop a pill and swallow it. Go for sublingual tablets, the ones that dissolve under your tongue. That way, B12 skips the whole digestion mess and goes right into your bloodstream. I usually recommend starting with 1,000 micrograms a day. Just one tiny tablet tucked under the tongue, maybe 30 minutes before bed. No food needed, and trust me, after a few weeks you just might notice your steps feel snappier, your legs don't cramp up as much, and your calves stop yelling at you every time you stand up. In fact, there was a case study, this one really stuck with me, of a senior who couldn't even walk alone for more than 10 minutes. 6 weeks of B12, and they regained full mobility. No magic, no miracle, just basic nutrition done right. So if your legs have been numb, jumpy, slow, or sore, this is your sign. Your nerves might just be begging for B12, and the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to bounce back. Let's fix it now. Let's make it a nightly habit. Just one quiet moment before bed every night. Your legs will thank you in the morning. Vitamin D3, the muscle builder hiding in plain sight. Okay, so now that we've given vitamin B12 the spotlight it deserves, let's talk about another underrated superhero, vitamin D3. You've probably heard it called the sunshine vitamin, right? But let me tell you something most people don't know, especially seniors. Vitamin D3 isn't just about your bones. I used to think that too. I figured if I got some sun and drank milk, I was covered. But nope, I was way off. Here's the thing. After 60, D3 becomes one of the most powerful tools your body has for rebuilding muscle, especially in your legs. We're talking about the thighs, glutes, and calves that literally hold you up, get you out of bed, and keep you from tipping over when the dog runs by or the grandkids want to race to the fridge. But get this, by the time you're 60, your skin makes 75% less vitamin D3 from sun exposure than it did when you were 20. 75%! You could be walking around in full sunshine and still not make enough D3. That's how nature works. That's how aging works. Not your fault, but it is your fight. And if you don't have enough D3, oh, you'll feel it. It might not scream right away, but your legs will start whispering. They'll feel sore after just walking around the house. You'll feel stiff in the morning. You'll need the railing a little more each time you climb the stairs. It creeps in quietly. And let's not even talk about those aches deep in your thighs or the feeling that your calves are burning when you lay down. Sound familiar? That's where vitamin D3 steps in, like your own personal repair crew. At night, when your body is in full recovery mode, growth hormone comes out to rebuild torn-up muscle fibers. But guess what? Without D3, that rebuilding doesn't happen right. You've got workers, but no blueprints, tools, but no instructions. There's a fascinating 2020 study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. Seniors with low D3 levels who started supplementing at night saw a 34% drop in falls and a 19% increase in leg strength in just 3 months. That's not hype, that's hard data. Want to know what really blew my mind? D3 doesn't just help with recovery, it activates muscle receptors. And those receptors are at their most active when you sleep, especially during deep sleep. That's when your muscles are primed to repair. That's when D3 becomes a secret weapon. Plus, it's got this amazing anti-inflammatory effect too. Ever get that strange nighttime aching in your legs, like your muscles are arguing with you under the covers? That could be from chronic microinflammation, and D3 helps cool that fire down. In a 2022 study from Frontiers in Aging, seniors with low D3 levels experienced twice as much leg pain at night and significantly slower muscle recovery. But after taking D3 before bed for 6 weeks, walking speed increased, balance improved, pain decreased. So here's what I do now. Every night, without fail, I take my D3 right before bed. Not in the morning, not at lunch, at night. That's when your body needs it the most. You're probably wondering, what kind should I take? Easy. Look for vitamin D3, not D2. D3 is what your body makes from the sun naturally. D2 is synthetic and just doesn't work the same. And here's a little tip I learned the hard way. D3 is fat soluble. That means your body absorbs it best when it's taken with a little healthy fat. So I'll have a spoonful of almond butter, a small piece of cheese, or even just a couple of walnuts. You don't need a full meal, just something small to help it go down the right way. As for dosage, most seniors do well with 2,000 to 4,000 IU per night. But of course, the exact amount depends on your blood levels. If you're not sure, ask your doc about a blood test. But don't wait too long, because low D3 levels don't just zap your strength, they keep your legs from repairing at all. And here's something surprising, some seniors actually sleep better after taking D3. It helps calm the nervous system, reduces nighttime leg cramps, and promotes deeper, more restful sleep. I didn't expect that side bonus, but trust me, I'll take it. So let me ask you, when's the last time you checked your D3 levels? When's the last time you helped your body really recover at night? If you're waking up sore, feeling stiff, or getting weaker instead of stronger even after resting, it might not be your workouts. It might be what you're missing when your head hits the pillow. Make vitamin D3 your nighttime ritual, pair it with B12, and suddenly your muscles have what they need to actually do their job. Rebuild, recover, and come back stronger. You're not too old, you're just undersupplied. Let's change that. Vitamin K2, the calcium traffic cop that rebuilds muscles while you sleep. Alright, so we've talked about B12 and D3. Both are essential, both are powerful, but now we've hit the one that most seniors, heck, even most doctors, completely overlook. I'm talking about vitamin K2. And no, this isn't vitamin K1. You know, the blood clotting one from leafy greens. This is K2. The behind-the-scenes powerhouse that tells calcium exactly where to go. Think of it like a traffic cop directing rush hour traffic. Without it, well, your calcium just goes rogue, and that's when the real problems start. Let me explain. After 60, something strange happens. Your bones get weaker, your joints get stiffer, your muscles lose their fire, and many people blame it on age, arthritis, or overuse. But in truth, it's often because calcium is getting dumped in all the wrong places. Without enough K2 in your system, calcium doesn't go to your bones. It gets stuck in your arteries, your joints, and even your soft tissue. That means stiffer knees, heavier legs, a weird tightness you can't stretch out, and slowly, silently, your leg strength slips away. Now imagine this happening every night while you sleep. Instead of your muscles rebuilding, they're getting tangled up with calcium deposits. Instead of your bones strengthening, your joints are hardening like concrete. Sounds terrible, right? That's why K2 before bed is such a breakthrough. This vitamin doesn't just stop the damage, it reverses it. It tells your body, hey, send that calcium to the bones, where it belongs. And not only that, it activates specific genes responsible for muscle regeneration. It literally flips the switch that tells your body to start repairing, rebuilding, and restoring strength. Let me share a study with you that stopped me in my tracks. In 2021, researchers published a study in the journal Nutrients where older adults were given K2 supplements daily. After just 8 weeks, participants saw a 21% increase in quadriceps strength and a 31% improvement in standing balance. That's not just a number, that's the difference between needing a walker and walking without help. And guess when the biggest gains were made? At night. See, K2 works best during your body's natural repair cycle, those precious hours while you sleep. When taken before bed, it syncs up perfectly with the muscle healing process, and the results speak for themselves. Stronger legs, better balance, less nighttime aching, and more stability during the day. But here's the kicker, K2 is almost non-existent in modern diets. Unless you're eating aged cheeses, fermented foods like natto, which I can't say I'm craving, or specific organ meats regularly, you're probably not getting enough. That's just the reality. So what's the solution? Supplementing with the MK7 form of K2. MK7 is the gold standard. It stays active in your body longer, works more efficiently with D3, and supports muscle and bone repair while you sleep. The typical dose for most seniors, somewhere between 100 and 200 micrograms per night. Easy, right? I usually take mine right alongside my D3 30 minutes before bed with a small fat-based snack, maybe some almonds or a little avocado. That combo helps with absorption and turns your bedtime routine into a full-blown leg recovery ritual. Now here's something important. D3 and K2 work as a team. D3 helps your body absorb calcium. K2 tells it where to go. But if you take D3 without enough K2, you could actually be making things worse by flooding your system with calcium that your body doesn't know how to handle. In fact, I've heard from people who were taking high doses of D3 on their own and started noticing stiffer joints, more leg pain, or even calcium deposits in weird places. The fix? K2, almost every time. There's even evidence that K2 boosts muscle glucose metabolism, which is a fancy way of saying it helps your muscles use sugar for energy better. That's especially helpful if you've got circulation issues, insulin resistance, or you're on the edge of prediabetes. In a clinical trial from Aging and Disease, seniors who added K2 to their nighttime routine improved their blood sugar regulation and showed better endurance during walking tests. One of them even said, "It's the first time I walked to the mailbox and back without feeling like I ran a marathon." That stuck with me. But my favorite part? K2 helps replenish your muscle glycogen overnight. That means you actually wake up with stronger legs, fewer cramps, less soreness, and more pep in your step. So, do you see why I saved 2000 Korean won for last? It's the closer, the finisher, the one that quietly fixes everything from behind the curtain while you're fast asleep. If your knees are cracking, your calves ache by lunchtime, or stairs feel like mountains, K2 might be the missing piece. And if you're already taking D3 but not getting the results you hoped for, add K2. It's the partner D3's been waiting for. How to build your nightly leg strength vitamin ritual. So we've gone through the why your legs feel weak, achy, or unreliable after 60, and why B12, D3, and K2 are the 3 silent superheroes your muscles have been waiting for. But now comes the part most people skip. How do you make this stick? Because popping pills randomly? That won't cut it. You need consistency, you need rhythm, you need a ritual. So here's what I've learned works best, not just for me, but for dozens of seniors who've tried this and felt real change in just a few weeks. Step 1. B12, the under-the-tongue spark plug. Start your bedtime ritual with vitamin B12, and not just any B12. Make sure it's methylcobalamin, the form your body actually uses without all that stomach drama. As we talked about earlier, digestion slows down as we age, so let's skip the stomach entirely. Go with a sublingual tablet. You just place it under your tongue, let it melt like a tiny mint, and you're good to go. Do this about 30 minutes before bed, or at least 2 hours after dinner if you've eaten something heavy. I keep my B12 right next to my toothbrush. That way, the second I go to brush before bed, it's staring me down like, "Hey, don't forget me." You can even set a little phone reminder. No shame in that. Trust me, I do it. Start with 1,000 micrograms per night. That's the sweet spot for most folks starting out, and in a week or two, you'll probably notice something subtle. Your steps feel steadier. Your balance feels firmer. You're not dragging your feet across the floor when you walk to the fridge at midnight. That's your nerves rebooting. That's B12 at work. Step 2. D3, the evening builder. Next up, we add vitamin D3. Remember, we want cholecalciferol, the D3 your body naturally makes from the sun, not the synthetic stuff. Most people over 60 benefit from around 2,000 to 4,000 IU per night. I personally started at 2,000, and after a month of better recovery, I knew I'd found my groove. Now this is key. D3 is fat-soluble, so don't take it with water alone. Have a small fat-based snack with it. Think a few almonds, a teaspoon of almond butter, half a boiled egg, or a small cube of cheese. You don't need a feast, just a little fat to get it absorbed properly. I usually take my D3 20 to 30 minutes before bed, right alongside B12 if I time it right. And please, don't take it first thing in the morning. That's when most people mess up. D3 is all about nighttime muscle recovery. That's when your body uses it best, so let it do its job while you sleep. Step 3. K2, the master switch. Last, but absolutely not least, vitamin K2. If you're taking D3 and skipping K2, you're only doing half the job. Remember, K2 tells the calcium where to go. It sends it to your bones instead of your joints, your arteries, or your muscles. Without it, you're just stockpiling chaos. So make K2 your final step. Look for the MK7 form. It stays in your body longer and works more efficiently. 100 to 200 micrograms per night is the magic range for most folks. Take it at the same time as your D3 with that same tiny snack. Let them team up. Let them work together. That's where the real magic happens. I keep both my D3 and K2 bottles in a little tray next to my tea mug and a glass of water. It's simple, it's visual, and it reminds me that I'm choosing strength every single night. Now, what happens if you're taking other meds? Great question. Always space these vitamins at least 1 hour apart from prescription drugs unless your doctor says otherwise. Most of the time you'll be fine, but it's always better to be cautious. Bonus: 3 nighttime habits that supercharge your leg strength. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, I've got my vitamins, but is there anything else I can do? Oh yes, and none of it involves gym memberships or yoga poses that turn you into a pretzel. These next 3 habits? They're low effort, high reward, and they'll help your body absorb those vitamins better, rebuild faster, and wake up with stronger legs in less time. Habit number 1, hydrate with intention. Most seniors don't realize how much mild dehydration messes with their muscles. Your blood gets thicker, circulation slows down, and even if you're taking the right vitamins, they can't get where they need to go. I used to wait until I was thirsty, not anymore. Now I sip water throughout the day, aiming for a glass every 90 minutes while I'm awake. Not chugging, just sipping. You can jazz it up with a slice of lemon or cucumber if plain water feels like a chore. And here's the trick: stop drinking water 1 hour before bed. That way, you're not getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Hydration supports recovery, but so does sleep. A study in the Journal of Aging Research found that even mild dehydration led to a 14% drop in leg endurance and delayed muscle recovery by several hours. That's how real this is, and the effect isn't just physical, it's mental too. I noticed that on the days I forgot to hydrate, my energy was lower and I felt a bit foggy. Muscles rely on fluid to contract and relax properly, so when they're underfueled, everything feels harder. Even walking to the mailbox used to feel like a mini chore. Now, it feels like a warm-up. If water feels too boring, try an herbal infusion or even warm broth in the afternoon. It still counts. Just avoid sugary drinks since they spike your blood sugar and can actually make you more dehydrated. Think of water as the delivery truck that brings those powerful vitamins straight to your muscles. No water, no delivery. It's as simple as that. Habit number 2, eat light at night. Want your body to rebuild muscle while you sleep? Then don't overload it with food. Heavy, starchy, sugar-packed meals late at night will have your digestive system working overtime, and your muscles won't get the nutrients they need. A study from Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who ate a high glycemic dinner after 7 p.m. had twice the rate of nighttime muscle stiffness and 38% lower nutrient absorption. That's a big deal. So here's what I do. I keep my last meal light. A palm-sized piece of protein, like grilled chicken, a boiled egg, or even a scoop of cottage cheese, plus some steamed veggies or a few leafy greens. Then I give it 2 hours to digest before I take my bedtime vitamins. The result? I sleep better. I wake up with less pain, and my gut says, thank you. Habit number 3, move your legs before bed. This isn't a workout, it's circulation support. Just 5 minutes before bed, I do tiny, gentle movements to get the blood flowing to my legs. That way, when I take my vitamins, they actually get where they're supposed to go. It's like giving them a first-class delivery route straight to my muscle tissue. And no, you don't need any fancy equipment. I simply do 10 seated leg extensions, a few ankle circles, and 10 slow heel raises while standing. That's it. 5 minutes and I'm done. It may sound simple, but it's surprisingly effective. A 2021 study in geriatric rehabilitation found that just 5 minutes of light leg movement before bed increased lower limb blood flow by 22%, and that translated into noticeably less cramping, better balance, and improved sleep within just 10 days. It's such a small habit, but when paired with your nightly vitamins, it becomes a game changer for stronger, more flexible legs. What I've noticed personally is that my legs feel less restless at night. That deep ache I used to feel in my calves, almost gone. And the stiffness in my knees when I'd wake up in the morning, it's eased up too. This 5-minute habit has become part of my bedtime wind down, just like brushing my teeth. I even look forward to it now because I know it's helping me stay mobile and independent. Plus, it gives me peace of mind that I'm doing something good for my body, something that doesn't require a gym or a trainer. It's quiet, it's calming, and it's mine, stacking the routine. So here's what the full bedtime leg strength ritual looks like. 2 hours after a light dinner, you start your wind down. Then you place your B12 tablet under your tongue. No food needed. Give it 10 to 15 minutes and then have a tiny fat-based snack like a few almonds or a small piece of cheese. After that, take your D3 and K2 supplements together, letting them work as a team while your body prepares for rest. Follow it up with 5 minutes of gentle leg movement. Nothing strenuous, just enough to get the blood flowing. If you like, sip a little herbal tea or water to wind down. Then it's lights out. That's it. Simple, consistent, powerful. Your legs don't need magic. They need the right support at the right time. And after 60, that time is night, because that's when your body is most ready to heal. But it can't do it without the tools. What might feel like small steps, placing a tablet under your tongue, stretching your legs before bed, sipping warm tea, are actually powerful signals to your body. Signals that say, it's time to repair. And when you repeat this nightly, your body listens. Within days, you may notice your legs feel steadier. Within weeks, you might be climbing stairs more confidently. The key isn't perfection, it's repetition. Miss a night? Don't stress, just pick it up again. This is your rhythm now, your routine, your way of rebuilding strength quietly, naturally, and intentionally, one night at a time. If you've stuck with me this far, and I know some of you have, then here's the truth. This isn't about vitamins. Not really. It's about your freedom. It's about walking across the room without second-guessing your balance. It's about waking up without your calves feeling like they've been wrapped in rubber bands. It's about climbing stairs without grabbing the handrail like it's your last hope. It's about living the way you want to, not the way your legs let you. And that starts with 3 simple nutrients your body has been silently begging for. Vitamin B12 to rewire the nerves, boost communication between your brain and your muscles, and restore control. Vitamin D3 to rebuild lost muscle mass, soothe nighttime inflammation, and supercharge your repair system. Vitamin K2 to direct calcium out of your joints and back into your bones, while reactivating genes that rebuild muscle from the inside out. They're not new, they're not flashy, but they are powerful. And when taken together before bed, they work in harmony with your body's natural healing rhythm. Every single night, your muscles try to repair themselves, your bones try to strengthen, your nerves try to reset. But without these 3 nutrients, that repair cycle falls flat. I've seen it. I've felt it. And now that I've added B12, D3, and K2 to my nightly routine, I'm not dragging my feet. I'm not groaning when I get out of bed. My knees aren't giving me side-eye when I ask them to bend. And best of all, I'm walking like I used to. Look, you don't need a dozen pills, a protein shake the size of a football, or an hour-long stretch routine. You just need a consistent ritual, and you need to start tonight. Right now, your legs might feel weak. You might notice that long walks are harder, that standing too long makes your knees wobble, that your calves cramp up around midnight, like they're trying to send Morse code in your sleep. But imagine how you'll feel in 2 weeks, after giving your body the support it needs. Imagine waking up and thinking, hey, that didn't hurt. That's your foundation, that's your power, and that's why we do this. Now I want to hear from you. Do you already take any of these 3 vitamins before bed? Or are you going to start tonight? Drop your answers in the comments. I read every single one. Seriously. And if you want personalized recommendations based on your age, your routine, or what you're currently taking, just let me know. I'm here to help. Share this with someone you love, your spouse, your mom, your uncle, your best friend, anyone over 60 whose legs could use a little backup. Hit the like button if this helped you. It really does tell the algorithm that this video matters and that senior health deserves more visibility. Subscribe if you want more real research-backed health tips that cut through the noise and get straight to what works. And don't forget, your legs carry you through life. Let's make sure they stay strong. Thanks for watching, and good night from me and my B12